It was a humid evening in Austin, the kind where the air clings to your skin like unspoken regrets. I pulled into Eleanor's driveway, the tires crunching softly on the gravel. My hands still gripping the wheel a moment too long. Work had dragged on another late grant submission for the nonprofit I ran, juggling budgets for shelters that kept families off the streets. But here I was, Sophia Harper, showing up with a homemade apple pie in a dish I'd inherited from my grandmother, wrapped carefully like a fragile peace offering. I knew it wouldn't matter, but habits die hard. The laughter hit me as soon as I stepped through the door, spilling from the dining room like a wave I wasn't invited to ride. They'd started without me. Plates already half empty, glasses clinking in toasts I hadn't heard. Eleanor, my mother-in-law, barely glanced up. Isabella, Daniel's sister, gave me a fleeting nod, the kind you reserve for a distant acquaintance at a crowded party. Daniel, my husband of 8 years, didn't even pause his story about some office triumph. I set the pie on the sideboard, untouched, and slid into the only seat left, the one by the hallway, where every trip to the bathroom would brush past me like an afterthought. The conversation swirled around vacations to the Gulf Coast, a nephew's promotion, Isabella's latest social media buzz for her boutique marketing firm. Eleanor beamed, praising Isabella's unstoppable hustle and poise. Daniel nodded along, his eyes never meeting mine. I clapped politely, smiled through the tightening in my chest. That's what I did, play the supportive role, keep my silence from cracking the facade. Around the table, stories were traded like family heirlooms, but I felt like the outsider who'd wandered in by mistake, even though I'd co-signed the mortgage on this very house during the tough times. As dessert time rolled around, I rose quietly and placed the pie in the center. One uncle squinted at it. Pick this up from the bakery downtown? I forced a chuckle. No, I baked it myself. Eleanor didn't comment. Isabella took a sliver, chewed once, then dove back into planning her next charity gala. No one asked if I wanted a slice. The talk shifted to a cousin's baby shower, Isabella offering her home, everyone assuming I'd handle the details. You'll pitch in, right, Sophia? Someone quipped. Isabella smirked. Depends on how forgetful she's feeling today. The laughter rippled. Not sharp enough to draw blood, but enough to leave a bruise. I excused myself to the powder room, passing the mirror in the hall. My reflection stared back, faded makeup, eyes hollowed by more than fatigue. When had I become this ghost? The hum of voices faded behind the door, and something inside me splintered, quiet as a hairline fracture. How had I let myself fade into the background? Paying bills, hosting events, rewriting their chaos into order, only to be edited out? Back home that night, barefoot at the kitchen island, I nursed a mug of chamomile tea, steam rising like the words I'd swallowed for years. It wasn't just the pie or the seat, it was the pattern, woven into every gathering. I was the fixture they relied on but never illuminated. I flipped open my laptop to the folder labeled Family Contributions. There it was, receipts for birthday venues I'd booked, grocery runs for barbecues, even the spa gift cards I'd personalized. Not for the money, but for the proof that I'd tried to matter. I remembered the brunch where Isabella spotted the spreadsheet on my screen. She'd burst out laughing. Sophia, auditioning for family accountant. Eleanor joined in. You're so meticulous, it's almost obsessive. Daniel had just shrugged. That's her thing. But it wasn't a thing, it was my desperate bid for visibility. The next afternoon, I swung by Eleanor's to return the pie dish. The door was ajar, workers in the yard. Probably. I slipped in, calling out softly. On the wall hung a new photo collage, glossy prints of holidays, births, trips to Santa Fe, kids with sparklers. Isabella center stage. Not a single shot of me, Not from the anniversary dinner I'd funded. Not the Thanksgiving I'd cooked solo when Eleanor was under the weather. I was cropped out, like a smudge on the lens. That evening, folding laundry with Daniel, I mentioned it. Did you see your mom's new wall? I'm not in any photos. He didn't look up from his phone. Don't overthink it. Mom's scatterbrained. But it wasn't scatterbrained, it was deliberate erasure. Like the family reunion where Eleanor waved me aside for just the core siblings, positioning me as the helpful extra, not the equal. Sleepless that night. I opened a blank document. What they remember me for at the top. Then lists, hosting, funding, smiling. Below, excluded, miscredited, invisible. It wasn't tears that came, it was clarity. Cold and sharp. My phone buzzed, Daniel heading to bed. No goodnight. I scrolled my camera roll, selfies I'd cropped to hide the indifference. Texts offering help met with emojis. One photo stopped me, Eleanor holding a thank you card at her birthday. One I'd written meticulously, enclosing a gift certificate to her favorite salon. Later, she'd told everyone. Isabella always gets it right. The card was mine. But the credit wasn't. That memory unlocked more. A misdirected text from Eleanor months back. She's so needy, exhausting. No name. But the context screamed me. I waited for clarification. But silence. Daniel dismissed it, mistake. You're being sensitive. I left the group chat that night. Notifications off. Thread deleted. Erosion. Not explosion, that's how it wore me down. Weeks later. Dropping muffins at Isabella's. Her 5-year-old peeked out. Are you the helper lady? Laughter erupted. Isabella corrected lightly. But the sting lingered. No one said. No. She's family. At a toast once. Eleanor praised the real backbone, turning to Isabella while I held the appetizer tray. Columns in my mind, cleanups assigned. Speeches skipped. Jokes at my quiet nature. This wasn't oversight, it was a scripted role, dependable shadow. Never the light. A warm Sunday brunch in Isabella's backyard amplified it. Eleanor toasted Isabella's viral campaign, the visual series stunning. I sipped my mimosa. Lips sealed. I designed it overnight after Isabella's frantic call. Her freelancer flaking. Dropped everything. Balanced layouts. Chose palettes. Now Isabella basked in the applause. Daniel whispered. Let it go, you're better at it anyway. Like theft was a compliment. Then Eleanor laughed. Everyone hustles. Isabella with her firm. Paul with his law practice. Except Sophia. Lucky to just exist. Chuckles followed. Must be nice. Semi-retired. My fork clattered softly. They didn't know I managed a team of 12. Securing funds for crisis centers. Up till dawn on proposals. But facts didn't matter in their narrative. I left early. Drove with windows down. Spring air numbing the ache. Home. I changed. Brewed tea. And dug into files, emails, designs. Texts of happy to help. New folder, proof. Each edition loosened the knot not for war, but for naming the betrayal. Kindness as currency. Spent in silence. Eleanor's house felt chillier for planning sessions. I arrived with printed itineraries. Spreadsheets. Seating charts for her milestone party, all my work. Isabella scrolled her phone. Nodding vaguely. Eleanor praised her thoughtfulness at the end. Eyes on Isabella. I bit my cheek. The catering deposit? My card. Reservation? My name. Driving home. I passed the ER where Daniel's father had his scare 6 months back. Daniel away. Isabella conferencing, Eleanor called me. I rushed. Covered the $2,800 bill when insurance lagged. No thanks. Overheard Eleanor later. Isabella handled it, so reliable. Seamless lies. Confronting Daniel over dishes. Remember the hospital bill I paid? He nodded. Good of you. Your mom credits Isabella. He scrubbed harder. Forgotten detail. Don't expect fanfare, you do it quietly. I want truth, I said. Silence stretched. Next day. Email to Eleanor. CCing Isabella and Daniel. Outlined my contributions. Then, stepping back. Family will manage beautifully. Sent. Silence for days. Then Isabella's curt text, we'll handle without you. Deleted the thread, some dismissals aren't worth archiving. The country club glowed under lanterns. Hedges manicured to perfection. I arrived early. Alone. In a simple gray dress. No gift. The room hummed with relatives, holidays I'd bankrolled. My place card, Sophia, family, by the restrooms. I sat. Observing. No one noted Daniel's absence. Dinner proceeded, toasts, tales. Midway. The waiter with the bill. Eleanor, Sophia handles it, her specialty. Laughter. Isabella, as long as she brought her wallet. Eleanor, honestly. So useless sometimes. The room hushed awkwardly. Then moved on. Slideshow flickered, my edited tribute. Now uncredited. Eleanor thanked Isabella. I stood. Walked out, heels soft on carpet. In the car. I opened proof, renamed undeniable record. Typed a note to myself, next time. They learn my name. Emailed it for safekeeping. Monday. Eleanor's thank you email. Grateful to Isabella for flawless coordination. Attached photos, no trace of my engraved watch gift, instead. A spa basket from Isabella. Her Facebook, Isabella. The daughter I dreamed of. My name? Absent. I didn't rage. Added to the folder, emails. Receipts. Drafts. Power and potential. Not exposure. Afternoon call from Eleanor. Easter planning? Garden theme. Pause. No, I said. Spending it with those who know my worth. Click. Printed the folder. Envelope labeled, for family review. The lake house rippled with tension. Estate overview, Eleanor announced. Folders distributed. My name? Erased from trusts. Properties. Misprint? I asked. No, only investors stay. I placed my envelope down. Opened it, receipts. Photos. Proofs. Daniel's father read aloud, deposits. Designs. Bills. Room silenced. Isabella tried closing it, no drama. I stopped her, every need. You built legacy on my back. Close the folder, erase my name from paper. Not truth. Walked out. Wind off the lake whispered freedom. Home. Journal entry from years back, belong where I build. Shelved it beside the master file. Exhale. Days later. Mail. My name off the deed, Isabella's added. The home I'd saved from foreclosure. Confronted Daniel, new. Mom said easier. No ask. No sorry. Laughter dry. Mine. At a charity event. Whisper, you're the one who lost the funds? Eleanor's spin. Paid in full. But lies lingered. New journalist, what they took, time. Savings. Voice. Underlined voice. Mailed copies, lawyer. Self. Mentor. Record over revenge. Balcony. Tea in hand. Sunset. No waiting. Liberation. Wedding invite. Daniel Harper and guest. Erased again. Replied, remove me from lists. Not attending. Folder shared subtly, mentor saw. Cousins texted, group chat exploded. Quiet had volume. Voicemail from a distant relative, we saw you. Recognition. Enough. Changed address. Closed joints. Filed separation, not abandonment, freedom. Notarized simply, no relation. Spring cleaning, found box of old letters. Eleanor's welcome post-wedding, one of us now. Burned it. Space for new. Therapy. What to feel. Clean nothing. Healing. Daniel's voicemail. Failed you. Start over. Text back. Watched me vanish. No rewrite. His. Sorry, not braver. Locked phone. Closure mine. New apartment. East facing. Golden mornings. For chairs, chosen ones only. No clutter. Just mine. Sealed box, cards. Invoices. Cropped photos. Folder. Left on Eleanor's porch. What you ignored, I release. Next day. Mentor, panic mode. Screenshots floated questions about me. Daniel's voicemail. Saw you too late. Journal. He failed protection. Not love. Closed it. Name change. Back to maiden strong. Unpermitted. New cards. Invoice for talk. Reclaiming narratives. Whispered. Now visible. Expensive. Candlelit for stayed too long me. They erased photos. Records. Wills. But I write my history. Begins here. Battles in silences. Victories in quiet pulls away. Kindness needs boundaries or it's theft. You don't owe silence for comfort. Not selfish for acknowledgement. Not dramatic for leaving. If erased, write your name bolder. Have you stayed to prove worth? What made you choose you?